Alright, this is a DJI original frame I want to sell. Not just the frame, the whole quad. This quad has never been crashed. It's got red LED lights on the back. It's got blue LED lights mounted on the front. They're actually quite nice, those LEDs. And if you look at the bottom on the arms here, you don't see any ESCs here. Everything is mounted on the inside between the center plates, and the battery mounts on top. Got 2822 1100 kV turning E motors. It's got 18 amps hobby wing ESCs, and it's connected now with Divention RX802, Devil RX802. I'm going to sell this as ready to, like a bind and fly, except this LiPo alarm here will not come with it. Everything else will come with it, the receiver included. And if you don't want the receiver, then I guess I'll charge less for it. What can I say about this quadcopter? It's running a KK board 5.5. I have a version 2.5 firmware by Minso Kim in there at the moment. It's Korean firmware, and it's working quite well. I do have a feeling though that maybe, just maybe, those, you see, like the way I've got it set up, the ESCs are set up on the side like this and like this. They're not touching the sensors on the KK board, but it's really blocking any air from going in there, and I have a feeling it's getting too hot in there, because I do need a bit of trims to get this one to hover nice and clean. Not a whole lot of trim. It flies, like, look, I don't want to make it sound bad, it flies very, very, very well. But I have two of these, and the other one I have, it's the exact same setup, same motors, same ESCs. And I have the ESCs under the arms here instead, and it does seem to be a little bit more, not a whole lot, a little bit more stable than this one, although this one is flying just fine as it is. So there's no issues with the quad, like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it. It just happens so that I find my other one with the ESCs mounted under the arms is a slightly more stable for me. But this could be a variety of things. It could be prop balancing, or I don't know. These propellers are new. Like I said, this quadcopter has never been crashed. So let's have a quick flight here, and then I'm going to post this on rcgroups.com later this evening, and then I'll put a price on there. Let's have a look. Set up with these ESCs and these motors makes for a very, very aggressive platform. So it's definitely good for 3D flying. In fact, it's very good for 3D flying. It's very aggressive, as you can see. The frame is not very heavy for this setup. Whoa! That was close. I don't want to crash this quadcopter. I want to sell it. I said it's never been crashed. Let me try to trim it nicely so I can show some some nice flying with it, some hovering with it. I said I need a bit more trim. Now it's going right back and right a little bit. Let me just, okay, let's have a look. And it's still going back a little bit. Have a look. Not too much. And there it is. This is once it's trimmed there. It's pretty stable, like, just need to trim it a little bit. This is pretty much hands off here. You can see it's good, but I do need a little bit more trim on it than my other one, and I think there's a heat issue with the ESCs totally engulfing the sensors on the board, because as I get through my flight after 4 or 5 minutes of flying, I need to retrim it. So I think it's because it get the ESCs warm up. They warm up, everything gets too hot in there. So the good thing is I did not cut any wires on the ESCs. So all it's a matter is just using some twist ties and then putting the ESCs under the arms, and I'm pretty sure it's going to fly better than it flies now. Although, like I said, there's no issues with the way it flies. Like, look, this is hands off here, no hands. See, I got a bit of a right drift on the yaw. Trim that, and that's that. See, no hands, no hands. So it's okay, like, it's not bad. Look, just I can't seem to tune it quite as perfectly as my other one, but I'm picky. I like to have it perfectly trimmed. And today's not the best day to show hands-free, actually, because there's some wind up here today. But there you go, no hands. Whoop, moving to the right a bit. To the right trim, the left trim, I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah. And that's my low voltage LiPo alarm. It's set quite high, so I'll make sure I don't drain my batteries too low. Like that. This is the quadcopter I want to sell. It's actually my favorite setup. I got 2 of these now, and I'm loving these quads. And then just bought a GoPro camera, a backpack, and a bunch of other equipment that I needed. So I'm selling this to basically get the funds for other purchases. And also I figured, you know, I have 2 of these. It's kind of silly. Only need one. And also one more reason I'm selling is because I like to, these quads pretty much have to have the battery on top, unless you get extension for the legs, and you can run the batteries on the bottom. And I'm running KK boards 5.5 on all my quads up until recently, and I'm moving to a different platform now, which is the KK2 board. And this is most likely not the best frame for a KK2 board because it's got the LCD display, so you can't really mount the board between the center plates. So I'm going to be looking at different frame options to in quads this size to run a KK2 board. And so I'm basically selling this. Is another reason why I'm selling this now. As I said, it's never been crashed. It's in top condition. Motors are new. It's got oh my god, probably has about 6 flights on it. So the motors are brand new. Everything's brand new. Alright, that's all. Cheers.